Hi everyone, my name is Samvida Pathak. I am a computer science and engineering student from VIT Chennai and I am in my fourth year. How was my college life? I found out that college life has to do not only with the college, which is the studying and the classes that you take, but also with your hostel life, how you cope up with living alone, how what kind of people are you hanging out with. These factors definitely play a role in your college life, and there are many setbacks which you will face. For example, in my third semester, because of all these reasons, my GPA dropped really low, and that was a low point for me. But I realized that getting back up is in your hands. It is, if you decide to not accept that and keep working for what you want, then I think that is a very empowering thought. There is nothing that you can't get back up from. So, refocusing, taking a step back, and then sorting out your priorities, figuring out what you want at the end of these 4 years is, I think, very useful. And in college life, I feel that each semester demands a different you. You have to be very adaptive. You have to be adaptive to the situation. Each year, each semester, your mentality changes, your classes change, your everything changes. And if you're not thinking on your feet, at the same time keeping your eyes on the prize, then that might be a problem. So being adaptive is a good thing to have in the college life, and that is something that I have tried to keep up with in these years. Recruited by JP Morgan and Chase, JPMC. It is the largest bank of the USA and it is operational in over 100 countries. In India, we have three locations: Mumbai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. And it caters to high net worth individuals, to big corporations, to daily investment bankings, and many other things. So the selection procedure for JP Morgan is very different from those of other companies. Usually, the companies will come to your college, take a test, take various rounds, and then finish the process in about 2 to 3 days. But this process will take about a few months. There are two ways of getting selected in JP Morgan. Either you bag an internship in your third year and then it gets converted to a PPO in your fourth year, or the second is their Code for Good hackathon, which is a competition. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to let everyone know of this different procedure because I myself was not aware. I thought I was registering for a competition when in reality it is also a recruitment drive. So around February of your third year, JPMC will send invites to your college and they will send it to you and you can apply for this hackathon. The first round will be a coding round, which will have two questions. One was based on graphs, but if you want all the test cases to pass, you had to use dynamic programming to make an optimized solution. And the second was, I think, on string manipulations. And if you clear this round, then about a month later, you will hear again from them, letting you know if you have proceeded to the next round or your application has been closed. So the second round will be an HR interview, and it is not a physical interview. They will use a software called HireView, which has pre-recorded questions. So the questions like uh, something about your leadership skills, what are your strengths, your weaknesses, your biggest achievements, what are you most proud of, all those HR questions. So the question will be displayed on a screen, and then they'll give you about a couple of minutes to think about the answer, and then they'll record your voice and your video, and then that is sent to JPMC for evaluation. And again, after a month from this round, so between each round a month passes approximately, and then after that will be the resume round, which is they will ask you to send them your updated resume, and then they will shortlist on the basis of the skills you have, the projects you've made, and if you qualify that, then you are selected for the actual competition, the actual hackathon. So it is a people from all over the nation apply for the recruitment drive, so you can guess how many students are there. And in the actual hackathon there are about 200 students in each location, and there are 3 locations, so anything from 600 to 750 students will be there in the actual competition. Now, as far as the competition goes, the Code for Good Hackathon CFG, uh, it is a 3-day event. In regular conditions, you are actually invited to one of their centers in Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Mumbai, and then they'll make you stay there, and it is an overnight event of 3 days. But for me, it happened virtually. You are assigned an NGO, and then you are asked, you're given a problem statement, you're given their requirements, the limitations, and then you're supposed to develop a full stack solution. So everything from front end to back end to programming, everything, a full working solution. You will be assigned a team of random people, and you're expected to work with your team, come up with a solution, and at the end of the third day, you need to provide them with the full solution, a working model of the solution. You will be assigned 2 mentors, and they will keep track of how you're contributing to the team, how you're communicating, what ideas are you bringing to the table, what technologies are you using to actually develop the solution. So they will keep a watch on you on throughout the competition. And at the end of the day, recruitment does not depend on whether you've made the best solution. It does not depend on whether you are winning that competition, but it depends on how much skills are you showing, what kind of work are you doing in front of the mentors and in your team. So after the competition, again, after about 20-30 days, then the selection list will be sent to your college. And from my college, 10 people were selected. In the actual hackathon, 40 people were selected, but for recruitment, 10 were recruited to JPMC. And in total, out of the rough 750, around 100 something students all over India were selected this year in JPMC. My strategy for cracking company exams is focus on data structures, focus on competitive coding. So the first test which every company will have is a coding test or MCQs. So if you do competitive coding on platforms like LeetCode, Geeks for Geeks, Codeforces, CodeChef, it will definitely prepare you for the first round. As for the MCQs, it's mostly the aptitude MCQs will be easy to crack. Questions on speed, distance, time, questions on profit loss. So if you can go through a couple of books on that, that's fine for that. For technical MCQs, theoretical questions on say operating systems, DBMS, some CAO will be helpful for you. How did I prepare for this hackathon? I was actually selected for a value added program, the VAP program organized by PayPal in my third year. So they actually introduced me to full stack development technologies. We worked with HTML Pug and EJS for the front end, and then we worked with Node.js, and it really introduced me to the concept of full stack development. I didn't exclusively prepare for the hackathon, but if you want to, I will suggest any technology is fine. If you want to go with React, Angular, or Node Express, that's fine. The concept of full stack development will really help you in the hackathon. My views on clubs and chapters and extracurricular activities. Say if it is a coding or any related club, I think it does give you a direction, so you know what to Google and which technology to pursue when you go back to your room. So it does give you a slight exposure. As far as extracurriculars are concerned, I feel it is important you find something that you like doing, so you have something to look forward to after a day of classes, and that I found it to be a kind of a therapeutic way to deal with the stress. It also, if the company is right, you also find good seniors who can guide you. But having said that, it is also very easy to get carried away because of these things. I have noticed that. So you need to find the right balance in a way that it is productive for you to be a part of these clubs and not take away from the actual motto, which is your classes and your degree. Having a good resume, I think it is of utmost importance that you have a good, strong resume, because it is the first thing a recruiter sees about you. It shows the skills you have, it shows what you've been doing the past 4 years. So it is very important, according to me. And tips on doing that: take part in hackathons, take part in competitions, pursue online certification courses, and also make good projects. Invest your time in making good projects in your semesters. I think all students can relate that it gets tough because of the time bound nature, doing all your projects from scratch. But if you do that, I am sure that it will help you in the long run. It introduces you to new skills, and it basically gives you something to talk about with your interviewer in your HR rounds, and that definitely gives you an edge over the other students who are also sitting for the same interview. And for work experience, if you have done a good internship, or if you got an internship in your third year, that definitely gives you points on the resume that shows to the recruiter that you have been exposed to industry work culture. But having said that, I myself did not have any work experience, and there is nothing that you can't learn on your own. There is nothing that you can't pursue on your own and not put on your resume that you will get from the internship because you're a fresher. They don't expect you to have industry knowledge, that is just a plus point. So I didn't want to fall short on my lack of experience, so I pursued other things that will make up for it, and so can you. So, does soft skills help you in the interview questions? I think yes and no. Yes, in the way that it prepares you on how to not get faced by any question, how to face an interview, how to conduct yourself during an interview. The content given in the soft skills classes, I think, will be helpful in the aptitude MCQs, but the theoretical Java, I didn't find it to be useful in my interview questions, because most of the interviewers will prefer to ask you applied questions, even if you don't have to actually code and it is an oral interview. Still, the questions will be very applied and nothing theoretical. So that's my opinion on that. CGPA. irrespective of what you've heard from others, what you see in movies or social media, that the company will not see how much marks you have, that is not true. That is true for the technical rounds, for HR rounds, but to get there, you have to be eligible to sit for the company's screening test in the first place, and that is where the CGPA comes in. So there will be so many students who have the same skills as you, have the same experience as you, same knowledge as you, and the company needs some criteria to shortlist students, and that becomes the CGPA. Basically, why give the company a reason to reject you when you worked so hard working on your skills and working on your knowledge, right? So I think it is very important for you to maintain a good CGPA. I myself was not eligible for a couple of companies, not shortlisted for a couple of companies because I didn't have a 9 pointer, and that really put me back. So that's something to think about. And tips for maintaining a good CGPA is, I think, I'm not saying you have to study all the time, but if you give it the time it deserves, so a little bit of focus before the exams, maintaining a good relationship with your teachers so they can tell you where you're falling short of, doing all your assignments on time. I think just that little bit of focus and finding the balance between managing your studies and other activities will enable you to get a good CGPA. So tips for juniors. Um, Concerning regular college life, I think it is important to give everything the time it deserves. So if you don't study and then you get less marks, you have nobody to blame but yourself. So if you want something, you have to put in the hard work, and then you have to deserve that thing. So I think it is important to allot proper times to everything. Another tip I think is call your family. I have realized, especially with hostel kids, people once they enter the college life tend to downplay the importance of family. But being close to your family, talking to them every day, it keeps you grounded. It it really gives you a sense of purpose. So I think it is important for you to communicate with your family. I cannot stress the importance of having a good crowd, a good company. Your friend circle defines you. It is in your hands how you want to spend your days, who you want to spend your days with. If your group is not talking about the conversations that you don't agree with, I think you shouldn't be afraid to take a step back and prioritize yourself. Having a crowd that inspires you, having friends that force you to level up, force you to work hard. And it doesn't matter if you have 100 friends, if you have even one or two friends who force you to work harder, I think that is a winning situation for you. So it is very important for you to have a good friend circle. Uh, Maintaining a good relationship with your faculty. This is something I overlooked initially, but subsequently I understood the importance of it. If you don't understand something, talk to a faculty. Even if you do understand and just want to discuss, so maintaining that relationship with the teacher is good because then they will point out the places where you're falling short or where you need to work hard. So that's helpful. And lastly, I think it is good if you find something that you like to do, may it be small or big. Music, dance, sports, reading books, listening to music, any liking anything that you love to do, that will be something you look forward to after working hard. It's like Zakir Khan says, अगर पढ़ाई में कुछ नहीं आता सितार बजा लेंगे. So that gives you a sense of confidence and a sense of calm. I think it is important for you to find something that you like doing. And for placement tips, I think don't be scared. It is okay to start preparing now. You are not late. I started preparing very late. You are not late. So don't be scared. Don't. The more you prepare yourself, the less it is likely for you to get confused or get phased or get shocked in the interview. The more you prepare, the more things you have in your arsenal. So it gives you a sense of readiness. I think it's a good thing if you know about a process that definitely calms you down in the actual situation. And that's it. Have fun, be grounded, and you'll get there definitely.